Ok, potete partire.
Grazie. As I said, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. My name is Pavel Gabriel Lazaro, and I am the Executive Director of the European Nuclear Education Network, a network consisting of nearly 80 universities, research centers, and international organizations, mainly from Europe, but with deep links with all over the world. I would like to welcome everybody to our today's meeting, which is dedicated to the commencement of an important action developed under the framework of the SATE project, or the Safeguards Training and Education. First of all, I would like to start with an organization issue related to GDPR. The meeting will be recorded and made publicly available. Thus, if you don't wish to be recorded, we kindly ask you to let us know. Okay, I think we can move forward. The meeting today is structured in two major parts. During the first part, our distinguished guests present here on screen will address the relevance of the education in nuclear safeguards from the perspective of their representing organizations. The second part of the meeting will consist in an open discussion, a debate on education in nuclear safeguards. From my side now, just a few words, thank you, on the SATE project. The SATE project, it is a project financed by the European Commission, former DG DEFCO, Development and Cooperation, and now DG DEFCO switched the name to DG INTPA, Directorate General for International Partnership. The project itself consists, or the actions developed in this project consists in a set of initiatives dedicated to the development of several ideas in support of nuclear safeguards, several initiatives that are receiving direct support meaning including financial support for attendees coming from countries, extra EU countries, in fact. First of all, we have here the 1-week short course on nuclear safeguards. Then this 1-week short course is, let's say, followed by an upgraded set of 2-week short courses, a deeper insight of nuclear safeguards, and finally, a dedicated EU-level accredited master program in nuclear safeguards. Now, I would like to introduce you to the scientific coordinator of the project, Professor Marco Enrico Ricotti from Politecnico di Milano.
Thank you. Thank you, Gabriel. I want to start with thanks to Gabriel and also to Willem Janssens, that are co-directors of the master. I want to thank also the whole scientific committee. You will find the full list of the experts on the website. They conceived and they designed the master really with enthusiasm in a very clever and brilliant way. And last but not least, let me thank also all the lecturers. We will have more than 40 international experts involved in that master. And before introducing and giving the floor to our distinguished guest, we are very happy and very lucky today because of the panel. Let me share with you just a few info about the specializing master on nuclear safeguards. And let's go through the website just to see the general structure of the master. If you go below on the screen, we can focus on the key information that we will find on the website about the period. We will start October this year, and the master will last 1 year. It is an accredited, a recognized master by the Italian universities. The location is Politecnico di Milano, JRC ISPRA, and also the labs in Europe. The master will be fully taught in English. What is our target? our aim is to find the interest of professionals and officials, both with but also without nuclear background, that are very likely working already in their national organization, in public organization, in R&D centers, and in industries that are interested in such a topic, nuclear safeguards. In the end, we will award a title. And last comment is about the format. We started conceiving this master before the COVID, before pandemic, and we were already thinking about having a blended format with the possibility for the professionals to attend this master without the need to come physically here. So we will have 8 months of online modules with the possibility to have anyway a synchronous, a live interaction with the lecturers. We will have also an important experience from the learners, 5-6 weeks with in-presence labs, both hardware experimental labs, but also software activities. At the end, 3 months of project work. Anyway, before starting the panel, for any administrative or technical question that you may have on the master, please contact us, and please attend also a specific dedicated online event that we will offer you on next June the 7th at 2 p.m. European Central Time, and you will find the link on the website. Thank you, and now let's move to our distinguished guest and panelist. I would like to start with Dr. Sama Bilbao. She's Director General in the World Nuclear Association. Please, Sama.
Thank you very, very much, Marco, for the opportunity to join today in this celebration. So really, on behalf of the World Nuclear Association and obviously the global nuclear industry, and frankly, on my own behalf, I really want to congratulate you and really applaud all of you that have been involved in the organization, in the development of this program. So congratulations to the Department of Energy and the Politecnico di Milano, obviously the European Nuclear Education Network, and of course the European Commission, including the European Joint Research Center for all the collaboration. So congratulations, Gabriel, Willem, Marco. I know how much work it is to do this. I mean, you know, I think that among the people here, perhaps I am one of the few that actually has the first-hand experience of the effort that it is to develop an accredited academic program. So congratulations in the culmination of this effort. And I will have to say that if developing a program in general is complex and arduous, to do what you have done with this program perhaps is particularly difficult because, of course, you mentioned the blended format, but also the fact that nuclear safeguards is a particularly complex topics where you are going to have this intersection of subjects from political science, forensic, and of course the more technical topics like nuclear science and technology. And of course you have the theoretical areas, and you have, as you explained, the hands-on labs. So that adds a lot of complexity. So I am sure that has been a hard work, but congratulations on this effort. So I will just maybe very quickly highlight why, in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of the industry, this type of programs is incredibly important. I think that historically, perhaps because the industry, we have had a desire to perhaps separate a little bit the energy and peaceful applications of nuclear science and technology from perhaps the most sensitive applications such as nuclear weapons. Perhaps because of this, the desire to separate these sides, the topics of nuclear safeguards, nuclear security, nuclear non-proliferation, perhaps have been historically underemphasized in most traditional academic nuclear engineering programs. So I think that this is unfortunate because clearly there is a very important need to make sure that all nuclear professionals are knowledgeable and fluent in this area. So I really think that many of us in the global nuclear industry would have benefited from having a master's program such as this that would have given us a more in-depth formal training and hands-on competencies in this area. Because truly, only when we understand well the complexities and the legal nuances on safeguards and non-proliferation, and then also when we truly understand and see the myriad of legal and technical aspects that go into nuclear safeguards, and how important are all these aspects to compliance verification, only then we truly are well-rounded nuclear professionals. So in this sense, I think it's great that this is now available for many professionals and also for the next generation of nuclear scientists and perhaps people outside of the nuclear sector. And I truly think that this is particularly important right now as we really are multiplying the number of new reactor types. We have new safety mechanisms. There are new methodologies that we are using to assess the safety and the security of all these technologies. So I really think that there is an absolutely need for this in-depth, specialized training for, as I said, not only the existing nuclear professionals, but obviously the next generation of nuclear professionals. So I will stop here. Once again, just congratulating you and wishing you all the best for this new adventure. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sama. You touched a topic that is very important, this issue of the complexity of the multidisciplinarity. If I have to say one topic that is a clear representation of this need for multidisciplinarity, for sure, I would select nuclear safeguards. Really, I know that we know that you have quite a busy agenda. So we are very glad that you find the time to join us, and thank you once more. But I think that another person that knows very well the complexity of this topic is the next guest. Massimo Aparo is Deputy Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, is also the head of the Department of Safeguards. Massimo, please.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you very much. Can you, okay, condividi, and wait, I need to find I have a short presentation.
Yes, please, you can share. Yes, now it's coming.
It's coming, and now I put it at the full screen.
Perfect.
So a very short presentation that wants to describe the importance for the agency, for the Department of Safeguards, on the training and education in safeguards, and how much we're looking forward to the starting of this initiative on the establishment of a master on safeguards. We have a strong interest, of course. We almost are in a conflict of interest. The agency, the department, spent quite a large of energy, resources, investment to develop and expand the knowledge and skill of our safeguard staff. We have a program that requires at least about 2 years between training and in the homework experience before we consider an inspector fully qualified to perform a job. And even after this 2 years program, we continue to provide specialized program on different aspects of the nuclear fuel cycle and different aspects of the certificate activity to make sure that our certificate inspectors are in the best position to carry out their difficult job. And for us, it's becoming more and more difficult to find well-qualified candidate for the professional post in the Department of Safeguard. So later in the last few years, the number of candidates that can be considered qualified enough to be invited for an interview is decreasing rather than increasing. It is due to a number of things. So the idea of having a master that can help us in this area is extremely important for us. But we have also another aspect that needs to be considered, that for safeguards is required cooperation between the agency and the state authority. So for us is of extreme importance to assist and provide training to the state so that they can establish, maintain and develop SSC and other relevant infrastructure through development of knowledge and skills. Last year, we even initiated a new initiative called Compass that to strengthen the safeguards, the state authority, the civil state authority in different countries. And through this program, we are trying to provide not only training, but even the provision of legal advices, expertise, equipment, software. So for us, both training of our inspector and training of the state authority is an extremely important goal. And here I think that is important to strengthen and to increase the collaboration between the academic program, government institutions, non-governmental organizations, in order to make sure that the knowledge of skills needed to meet global operation goals can be developed. There are a clear opportunity to build on the strength on each sector, the academic, the government institution, the NGO, international circle, to improve the training and education program and strengthen the capability of the workforce. And this is why we are looking so favorable to your initiative and we are more than happy to work with you. I remember the first time we discussed about your idea of establishing this master was in 2018, and then we were unfortunately the situation was couldn't develop properly because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and I think that this program can really be part of an effort that engage all young people in the area of safeguards and can build the global capacity to achieve and maintain these goals. And this was in 2005. Shirley Jackson, president of the Politecnico Institute, stressed that at the same time the civil workforce is aging and recruitment is getting harder, the set of skills required for International Atomic Energy Agency verification is broadening significantly. And it's important to remember that I told you in 2005, this is even more and more true nowadays. So what we need to do is to create a bridge between the world of education and the world of training in the area of safeguards, so that the academic world and the safeguard inspectorate stay connected and do not drift away. And it is important that we identify a set of key common competencies so that the individuals can build a career, either in a specific sector or one that spans advanced studies and practical implementation. So on the nuclear safeguard program on nuclear safeguard is an initiative to further that goal and build the next generation of safeguard professionals. Now I want to give you my personal experience on that. Exactly 40 years ago, I graduated from the University of Rome, a nuclear engineer. And my thesis was on an NDA technique to be applied in safeguards. At that time, safeguards was very little known as a name. I remember the professor, one of the professors that was in the panel for the discussion of my thesis. When I mentioned safeguard the first time, he corrected me and said, "You mean safety?" I need to say, no, safeguard is a different thing. It's part of the 3S. And I really hope this is the first example of a master on specifically dedicated to safeguards. I really hope that now the safeguards, for a number of reasons related to the international politics, it became much more known in the world, can have, even in the academic area, the relevance that it requires. So we really look forward to contributing to a number of modules and work with all of you to kick off the first of many years to come. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I will not be able to continue too long my participation to these important events, but I ask to my colleague and friend, Jack Booth, that has an incredible experience in safeguards and also an incredible experience in teaching or to widen the perspective in the safeguard world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Massimo. And also thank you to Jacques. I want to highlight one issue that you touched, and this is the effort that as Politecnico, but especially as ENEN, with the support of the European Commission, we would like to give as a contribution in one topic that is really of paramount importance, to link, to move the academic environment, the universities to work in a very strict collaboration, more close to the organization, like the agency, like the other organization, on this very complex, very challenging topic of nuclear safeguards, that it deserves to be more, to get more attention also from the academic side. So I agree with you. We hope that this will be the first step, a small step for a man, one say, but that can continue during the next years. Thank you very much, Massimo. Now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Stephan Lechner. He's director on nuclear safeguards in the European Commission, DG ENER. So please, Stephan. I don't know if Stephan can hear us.
Marco, I'm reading the chat. Is Roberta here? I think Stephan has some problem.
With some problem with the audio. So
exactly.
Stephan, let us try to solve the issue. In the meantime, let us ask to Maria Betti. She's director of the Nuclear Safety and Security in the European Commission Joint Research Center, to give us her view on this issue. Maria?
Thank you. Thank you very much for the floor. Thank you to everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all the audience. I appreciate very much this invitation today, and I'm really very glad and honored to be here with all of you in this opening of this important step and milestones that actually in 30 years of careers in this field I've seen now realized in concrete. And as you can imagine, the European Commission and the Joint Research Center really welcome very much this initiative. And as has been said also by the first introductory speech by Dr. Sama Bilbao, it's very complex. This work is a lot of diplomatic negotiation, and I would like really to congratulate with the General Director for the IAEA, Ambassador Rafael Grossi, also with the DG for nuclear safeguards, Max Aparo, who just spoke before, for the big achievement in having renewed at least until the 24th of June the agreement with the Iran for the safeguard surveillance. So safeguards is something very, very particular, peculiar, political, technical, scientific, as all together is very multidisciplinarity. And historically, the area of nuclear safeguards and non-proliferation has been a key activity in the JRC. The Joint Research Center actually has been born due to the Euratom Treaty that was related to the nuclear power, nuclear activities, nuclear for civil use, and safeguards is part of the control of the use of this nuclear for civil use. And what the Joint Research Center did, giving support to the Euratom safeguards, now led by Stephan, Lechner, by my colleagues in Luxembourg, all over these 60 years. And the JRC has developed a long tradition in technical and in scientific approach. So our contribution to this master, with the participation of Willem Janssens as co-chairing of the masters, and all the others that are in the scientific committee, and those who are giving lecture, is really a big achievement for us, because it's a transfer of knowledge, it's a transfer of expertise, it's a transfer of an historical, of a legacy, I would say, that has passed through the years. And with the 4 sites that the Commission has through the Joint Research Center in Europe, namely in Germany, Belgium, and Italy, and and in the Netherlands, where we have activity related to the nuclear, and in particular to the nuclear safeguards in the Karlsruhe site and in ISPRA site, and all the support that we give also to the on-site laboratory now at the reprocessing facility in La Hague, and until the end of 2020 also in Sellafield, and also all the collaboration that we have with the International Atomic Energy Agency. We want really to be an actor present in this master, and we welcome and acknowledge the importance of the master itself. So in a nutshell, I can say that is a pleasure, is an honor, and is an endeavor that we want to afford together with all the players in the field. And we are also ready to ensure a networking of these masters with another network that we have, is the ESARDA network, and also celebrated the 5th anniversary in 2019, and is a big network around the world where we try to transmit knowledge and expertise. And this is related also with another important initiative of the Institute for Nuclear Material and Management, that is they were working together. And the role of the JRC and the ESARDA in the nuclear is education. And that has been said also by the DDG Max Aparo. We have difficulties now recruiting nuclear professionals, not only in safeguards, in all the nuclear field. And this is a difficulty for our nuclear industry, is a difficulty for our nuclear branches, the difficulty is real. And we need to have a sound and strong education program. And this master is really a very important initiative. So I acknowledge very much also the our partner DG International Partnership for MARDEFCO made possible this happening through these masters, and all the academic world that is beyond this. Is a lot of work, is very important, is very stressing. So Professor Ricotti, my congratulations. Dr. Gabriel Pavel, also my congratulations for this endeavor. And my wishing for the best success that I was sure will come. And please consider that my services will be really very, very at your disposal for any kind of support to this master. And with this, I wish you a big success and a good continuation of the day. And thank you very much for having given me the honor to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. We are honored that you join us. And we really seriously and heavily rely on the availability of the experts, of the people working at JRC for this endeavor, and also for the high quality of the labs that will be available for the learners to deal with this topic of nuclear safeguards. So thank you very much once more. Now let us go back to Stephan. Stephan, can you hear us now?
Yes, now I can hear you. Apologies, my audio had dropped out.
Thank you. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Right.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Thanks a lot for the invitation. I would like to talk a little bit from the perspective of Euratom safeguards, and I can confirm that safeguards education is really, really essential. If you're looking into the European political agenda, we can see that nuclear power will constitute some 10 to 15% of the European energy mix still in the year 2050. So against all claims, nuclear is not a technology of the past. And I can tell you, if we hadn't these 10 to 15% in the year 2015, it would not be even more ambitious or even harder to make it to the climate goals, but it would be impossible. So nuclear energy in all different forms is required to reach the European Green Deal finally and to come to a climate neutral Europe as politically foreseen. Safeguards, of course, do not stop when nuclear energy stops. So we are currently seeing this in Germany. Germany is phasing out nuclear energy and they are unloading the reactors. But of course, the nuclear fuel does not disappear overnight. So safeguards are still required and will still be required until final repository of nuclear fuel and for all other nuclear installations as well. Therefore, even if in the year 2050 only 10% of the energy mix were nuclear, then safeguards would still have an operational role and they would not cease after nuclear energy one day might cease in Europe. So this is one of the most future-proof ideas that I have heard for an international masters. Unfortunately, the public opinion is not talking this way. And if we are attracting young people to go into catchy university degrees, then they pretty much are interested in renewable energies all over the place, where there is a huge competition and the broad offer, and the quality is not always where it should be, although the world is still moving there also in the development of curricula. I'm very happy that with Politecnico Milano, we are having a very prominent university here leading the academic activities, and that with the forces of the European Commission, especially of the DG for International Partnerships and the JRC, of course, with the decades of experience, We are having the good partners together, and that ENEN is joining in, and that the IAEA is supporting, and also we are supporting with lecturers for certain modules and giving some insights really from the field services and from our background. I heard a very clear statement that the diversity of installations will grow. This is definitely the case, but out of the common practice, I can tell you that no installation, even of the same type, is like the next one, and the devil is always in the details. The European Commission services for Euratom safeguards are at a partnership approach level with the IAEA as far as the Euratom community is concerned. And this has been agreed with all stakeholders and fixed in writing, and therefore there is a stable international framework with very good governance in the EU. But the competence is fading away. We are seeing more and more participants, inspectors, stakeholders, national authorities, representatives going into retirement after several years or decades of working in nuclear safeguards, and we are not really able to attractively refresh that know-how easily. The European Commission, unlike the International Atomic Energy, cannot just publish a job ad and then just hire people that are applying, but we are paid of taxpayers' money. We are taking good attention that people are qualified well for the European service, and we can only hire after having established reserve lists. We are currently establishing in a competition another reserve list from an open call for applicants, and I can tell you that it is very difficult to find people who have a good nuclear knowledge already. And it will be yet more difficult in the future. It will yet more be difficult to find capable women. And on the slide of the International Atomic Energy Agency, I saw that there was a gender balance objective. I can tell you that this will be hard to reach if the current attractiveness of these open calls remains where it is and can only give us roughly a quarter of the applicants that are female, who will then make it into the career chain and end up at a quarter and not at a solid balance. So we are experiencing currently all different drawbacks, under which I think a master on nuclear safeguards is an excellent idea. It is also great to have it in English, because the 3S in English do not reflect in every other language. And if you're coming to various languages, there are not 3S, but there is one term for safety, safeguards and security, and this is making things much more complex. And safeguards are sometimes something that comes at the very end of the thinking of people who are talking about nuclear energy or about the Green Deal and the climate neutral future. So first, it is renewable energies, and then at the end, admittedly, there is also a bit of nuclear, and then there is nuclear operations and there is safety, and at the very end of this, there is also safeguards. But this is a perspective that is biased. Safeguards are indispensable for a solid understanding that the suppliers of nuclear material can still ship into the EU, and Euratom safeguards are the prerequisite for the nuclear industry in the EU. So I'm very happy that this joint effort here has brought together a solid, well-structured, and also accredited masters in nuclear safeguards that will not only help internationally, as originally foreseen, to have a focus of development and know-how provided by the EU also for the international scenery, but also be available for European applicants, and that will in general be a lead effort that might also intrigue others of building up a similar strand in other places. I mean, that would be even better. If anybody was asking me, under the current COVID job market's requirements, what should I recommend to young persons? Should they go into artificial intelligence? Should they create a startup? And what would be the best chances to have a reliable, interesting, diverse, typically also sufficiently well-paid job in a fascinating environment that is absolutely future-proof and where the competition is not too strong? Then I would recommend the Masters of nuclear safeguards, because this will be something that is really a safe bet for the future. It's fascinating and it can pull people along. The composition of the modules, the lecturers, is unique in the world. We couldn't have pulled it together in this composition in any other place in the world, with all the different stakeholders there, with the funding, the ideas, the conceptualization of the JRC. And I really appreciate that everybody has given their best to contribute here. It should be a flagship for education in nuclear safeguards, and I'm wishing you all the best with this very important endeavor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Stephan. Thank you so much.
I would like to highlight a couple of topics that you touched. First of all, it was really exciting from our side, designing this master to have the relationship with such a huge number of experts in different fields. It is really something that is exciting from the point of view of your brain, of your interest. And I fully agree with you. It could be very, very interesting for the students, for the learners that may attend this master. A second topic, and we would like to exploit as much as possible the flexibility and the interest that Politecnico di Milano in this period is giving to the gender balance. We are very lucky because of the interest of the European Commission, the DG International Partnerships. The learners coming from outside Europe will be fully paid. So they will not have to pay the fees. They will have the funding for the traveling and for all the activities. We would like to offer some fellowships, partial or total fellowship to the ladies, to the female learners that could be interested in such a master. So it is a policy that not only Politecnico di Milano, but other universities are implementing in this period. So we fully agree with your suggestion that we may exploit this opportunity for the ladies. Thank you very much. And now let us give the floor to Pascal Daures, representing the European Commission, the DG International Partnerships. That is a key player in this initiative, because all the initiatives started from DG INTPA. So we are glad that European Commission identified this activity as an important strategic activity for the Commission. So please, Pascal.
Thank you, Marco. Well, I'm afraid that I will just summarize what has been already said by the different speakers. But I would like to summarize also what was our thinking to come to this idea of a master for nuclear safeguard and a bit also of information for the future. First of all, and it was just mentioned by Stephan now, I mean, the importance of safeguards, and I don't have to advocate that. This is clear for everybody around this panel, and we still believe that there is a lot of things and a lot of challenges ahead. Moreover, we have a unique Euratom system and framework that can be the basis for participating actively to the creation of such a safeguard. And we also think from our side that safeguards deserves an education recognition, and the master is the best recognition you can have. It was quite a surprise to me when I started some tens of years ago that there was no real direct education system for safeguards. And the complexity of the safeguards that evolved in the time with the new techniques, the new challenges, the new configuration, the new technologies, I mean, just confirm that we need really highly specialized stuff. The aging of people, this is also something that trigger our first reflection, and that at the end we came to meet with ENEN to start developing a concept that is now today on the good tracks. I just also confirm that from the Commission, and this was mentioned several times by the IAEA, by the Commission, by the people from WNA, that gender equality is something which is high on the agenda of the Commission, and we fully support. We are facing a more sophisticated and complex world at the moment. So we need to combine within the people that will follow this master a good combination of legal and technical skills, which is also a big challenge. I want also to mention the new challenges ahead that we have identified from our side, and in particular with the new technology that may be largely deployed, and I'm talking about the SMRs in newcomers countries, and in particular in Africa, which will be a challenge because very often we think that these technologies that are now provided as a turnkey concept by some providers will be put somewhere remotely and that provide for safety, security, and safeguard concern. We also facing countries with a lack or minimal regulation framework, and in particular in the field of safeguards that will host for the first time nuclear technology. And one of the last challenges, the main challenges we will face, and it was mentioned by Stephan again concerning Europe and Germany in particular, is decommissioning of facilities. Now, looking, and to be short, so looking at the future, we are cooperating, of course, with the IAEA and with DGG Aparo. I'm just make a small bracket here to inform him that we just issued the contract. I see that also AFCONE is here today, and I'm very glad to meet you, and I hope that we will have the opportunity to discuss. Just talking about that because we expect by June this year, so in 1 month from now, to have the adoption, the final adoption of the new regulation. This will be the new instrument for nuclear safety cooperation that covers safeguards. This is a budget of 300 million euros for the 7 years to come, under which, of course, we will continue to finance training and education in safeguards. And for your information, we have 5 million available for next year. So it's also a call to you if you have ideas, because we will start in September the programming phase for 2022. So again, please contact me and we can discuss any project, any needs, and we will continue our engagement in supporting in the medium term, in the long term, the safeguards activities, and in particular the training and education. So for the period, we expect to put 5 million every 2 years, so 15 million for the 7 years to come. And complementary to the master and to what we do with ENEN, we have also a training and tutoring program that will be extended also to safeguards activity. And not to be too long and to repeat what has been said, I want to of course, join everybody to congratulate what has been done, but moreover to say we are at the beginning of the story, and I hope that in 1 year from now we will have the first promotion of students, and we will all celebrate, and this will be on the tracks for the future and will attract more and more people to this kind of education that will be the next generation of safeguards staff that we need definitely in the future. Thank you very much. Congratulations again. And you can be sure that we will continue to support you.
Thank you, Pascal. We may say that if we are here today, is because of you, obviously. And after your announcement of the interest of the European Commission to pursue this topic, I think that Gabriel will call you tomorrow morning for the future. You touched a very important issue about one topic. Let me select one topic of your items, that is the future development of the SMRs, especially in countries where nuclear is not yet implemented. the agency, the IAEA, is pursuing a huge effort in supporting the member states in this for this activity. We know that there are 40 countries that are interested in deploying, in considering the deployment of SMRs. 11 of those countries are from Africa. And we discussed in a meeting of the technical working group on SMR in the agency that one of the key issues for the real possibility to deploy SMRs is to take care since the beginning, since the design, of nuclear safeguards. So this is something that is not a secondary item with respect to the technology. So in order to really give the chance to SMRs to be deployed, we need nuclear safeguards. Thank you very much, Pascal.
Marco, if I may, a last word.
Please, please.
You praised the commission for bringing the money, but I want to say that this is the easiest part of the work. And without you, without the university, and without all the brilliant people that will participate and provide the lecture, I mean, nothing will happen and nothing will be possible. So do not, I mean, we know that the leadership and the bigger role is with you. And again, congratulations for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I have to share the congratulations with all the lecturers that were available in a very positive and proactive way. And really, we are very, very glad that we have embarked we think the most brilliant experts on nuclear safeguards internationally. So thank you very much. Now let us move. I know that Andrey Timoshchenko, if he's with us, he may have some problems of time schedule. So I would like to give the floor immediately to Andrey. He's from the Regional Network for Education and Training in Nuclear Technology. He's acting as the Vice President. So Andrey, if you are with us, please.
Marco is again Roberta here. I'm afraid Andrei is not able to join us.
Okay.
Yet.
So
we are trying to get to him, so I suggest we move on.
Yes, let's see if Andrei can join us later on. So let me ask to Miss Keltoum Hakam to take the floor. She's the education officer from the Division Nuclear Security in IAEA. Please, Miss
Thank you, Professor Marco. Good day, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate the University of Politecnico Milan, ENEN, and the GRC for the development of this new academic master program on nuclear safeguards. I also would like to thank the organizers for inviting the IAEA Division of Nuclear Security to take part in this launch event. So my name is Keltoum Hakam. My background is PhD in nuclear physics. I am education officer at the Division of Nuclear Security. And before joining the IAEA, I was a lecturer and researcher at University of Ibn Tufayl in Morocco. So as educator, I strongly believe in the importance of education. And I believe that in any efforts, we should take first step in education, and after that comes training. So the agency gives a great importance to nuclear security education. And I am pleased to share the experience of the IAEA Division of Nuclear Security in developing and implementing nuclear security activities. So we are all aware that the objective of a state nuclear security regime is to protect persons, property, society, and the environment from harmful effects of nuclear security events. Such a regime can be strengthened through appropriate training, and education at all levels and in all organizations and facilities involved in nuclear security by preparing the next generation of professionals with knowledge, expertise, and understanding of the importance of nuclear security. In this regard, the International Atomic Energy Agency offers a wide spectrum of education and training activities in all areas of nuclear security. Let me focus on nuclear security education. The IAEA started by issuing the NSS 12 in 2010, the guidance on nuclear security education to support university curriculum developers to establish their own nuclear security program. The NSS 12 publication provides a curriculum for a master program in nuclear security and a certificate program in nuclear security. This publication is under revision, and we do hope that the new revision will be issued by the end of this year. In the same year, the IAEA established the International Nuclear Security Education Network, which encompasses almost 200 universities from around the world to work, to network, and to share good practices in nuclear security education. So the first pilot master program based on the NSS 12 publication was implemented in Europe by a consortium of 5 universities in 2013. Then other universities were interested to implement such master program, and they collaborated with IAEA through INSEN. This is the case of the University of National and World Economy in Bulgaria and the National Technical University of Ukraine, who are currently conducting such master programs. Also, the University of Brandenburg in Germany was supported by the IAEA in developing and implementing an online master program in nuclear security. Another important activity is the development of faculty development courses and the development of teaching materials by INSEN. We need to develop the capacity of teachers to be able to teach nuclear security. Also on INSEN portal, we have INSEN teaching materials that university professors are welcome to use and to teach, deliver nuclear security. So among other IAEA nuclear security activities, there is the School on Nuclear Security. It is a 2-week program which provides an overview of on all areas of nuclear security, and this program targets young professionals in nuclear security. The program of the school was launched initially in Italy by International Center for Theoretical Physics in 2011, and since 2014, the IAEA conducts the school in different regions of the world and in different UN languages. So, regarding it has been mentioned by many speakers, the gender equality, and in this regard, the IAEA is committed to gender equality and to supporting the ability of all individuals, regardless of gender, to equally contribute to and benefit from its programs and activities. And I am pleased to inform you that the IAEA Division of Nuclear Security launched in last March the Women in Nuclear Security Initiative. to promote and strengthen the involvement of women in nuclear security worldwide, as well as to enhance the awareness about nuclear security jobs and careers for women, especially for young professionals. This initiative is established under the auspices of the Women in Nuclear Global Association. The initiative will carry out activities to highlight experiences, achievements, and challenges of women in nuclear security and raise awareness about the IAEA's program in nuclear security, as well as the agency's initiative on gender equality. Our first webinar in the framework of this initiative will be held tomorrow at 2 p.m. It focuses on the role of the IAEA in strengthening the capacity of women in nuclear security worldwide. So it will be an opportunity to inaugurate this group and also to hear from some speakers. So I would like to congratulate you again for establishing this master program on nuclear safeguards, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Hum. Thank you for sharing with us that important information and news, that an approach that we would like to follow, cooperation with different organizations, involvement of the universities, gender balance. I think that this is something, is a rule that has been traced and we have to follow. And I have a dream that sooner or later we will have a more strong cooperation on the three topics that some of you already mentioned, that is safety, security, and safeguards. Because if we think about nuclear in this new millennium, we must address in a very holistic and multidisciplinary way this issue. If you want to give a contribution to the acceptance and the development of nuclear in the world. So thank you very much once more for attending the meeting. And now let us move to the last three guests. Let me start with Mr. Messaoud BAALIOUAMER. I hope that I correctly pronounced the name. He's the Executive Secretary of the African Commission on Nuclear Energy. And we are very, very glad that you find the time to join us. Please, Messaoud.
Thank you very much, Professor Ricotti, and thanks to Mr. Pavel for the invitation and all the organizers, and congratulations once again for these excellent initiatives. I remember in May 2019 we discussed this issue in Stresa, if I'm not wrong, about this master in nuclear safeguards and higher education in this field. So if you allow me, I have a brief presentation just to summarize a little bit the mandate of AFCONE regarding and related to nuclear safeguards, and what are our considerations today.
Okay. Yes, we see the slide now. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you very much. I start just by saying that we are now 52 countries, African countries, which are member states of the African Union and which signed the treaty. 42 countries from Africa ratified the treaty. Regarding the Pelindaba Treaty provisions, we have 22 articles, 9 are related to the state parties' obligations. On nuclear safeguards, the Article 9 is on verification of peaceful use, of course, and the obligations for each state parties is to sign a comprehensive safeguards agreement with the IAEA. The Annex 2 of this treaty goes more in details on how to manage the safeguards with the International Atomic Energy Agency. This is the Article 9, and this is the obligation, in fact, for each state parties. And regarding these obligations and the timeline to sign these comprehensive safeguards with the agency after the ratification of the treaty. This is the Annex 2 on safeguards. And of course, I put on red the obligation after the signature of the comprehensive safeguards agreement with the agency. Each party should take all the appropriate steps to ensure that the agreement referred to in paragraph 1 is in force, including, of course, the setup of this CSSA. What are the needs in terms of educational training in nuclear safeguards? We have now 10 research reactors in Africa, 1 nuclear power plant in South Africa, in Cape Town, since 84, 85. But we are planning, or as you mentioned before, more or less 12 to 13 African countries are considering the introduction of nuclear power in their energy mix. Some are more advanced than others. Of course, South Africa is already operating this nuclear power plant and is planning to complete its network with other nuclear power plants. Egypt has already signed a contract of 4 gigawatts with Rosatom. Ghana, Nigeria are advanced in their projects, national projects, but other African countries are preparing themselves through memorandum or cooperation agreement to set up nuclear research centers in preparation for the nuclear power plant program. Regarding uranium mines, Africa is more or less exporting 20% of the global resources. There is new nuclear centers planned in Rwanda, in Zambia, and other countries. Some are already operational in Morocco, Algeria, Libya, and other countries. Of course, we have many university laboratories with dedicated activities related to, needing, in fact, or requesting implementation of nuclear safeguards. In terms of status, now in 2021, we rely till now on the reports already prepared by the IAEA in terms of number of countries which signed their comprehensive safeguards agreement, or additional protocols, or small quantities protocols, etc. And the fact sheets are available. We organized 2 workshops recently on nuclear safeguards regarding with the IAEA, of course, but also with ESARDA, ISTC, and INSEP USA, in order to discuss this subject and to develop our brainstorming on all the challenges we are facing, including, of course, education and training in this field. We also organized another, this is in fact the situation presented during this the November 2020 webinar with the kind participation of Mr. Aparo and Dr. Van Zyl de Villiers. This is the status in Africa in terms of comprehensive safeguards agreement or other protocols in force or in process, and the different facilities which are under safeguards implementation by the agency. What about education and training in nuclear safeguards? So the IAEA, as already presented, is training at different levels, long fellowship in or training, 9 months training in this field, or more brief training in 1 or 2 weeks, or regional workshops in this field. Several countries are training their people by their national commissions or institutes. AFRANEST is considering, of course, AFRANEST is the African network on nuclear science and technology, is considering, of course, all the large spectrum of education and training, including nuclear safeguards, but with the low priority, as we can see in this slides presented by AFRANEST recently in our webinar on nuclear science and technology education and training. But AFRANEST has signed a collaboration agreement with including ENEN, ANENT, LANENT, etc. And I believe that there is opportunities to strengthen the development of the AFRANEST program in education in nuclear safeguards through the support of the other networks. Of course, the NNSA or INSEP USA is also supporting Africa through some projects on regional workshops in different fields of safeguards, in addition to the support to the IAEA through the Nuclear Safeguard Department. ESARDA is present in Africa through regional workshops organized in South Africa, in Algiers, and thanks to ESARDA and to GRC and ENEN for allowing more than 40 participants to be part to the recent ESARDA annual course. And it's really encouraging for the African institutions. Regarding the priority for AFCONE, of course, we are developing our cooperation, including in nuclear safeguards, through international cooperation. We signed the memorandum with ESARDA, with the IAEA, including in nuclear safeguards, and we are considering other agreement with other international partners, including the African Union strategic partners. We have already a memorandum with Russia, with India, and others will follow soon. Within this international cooperation, we are considering, of course, the integration of all the AFCONE activities. One of the major activities, which is not under AFRA or FNRBA, is nuclear safeguards, of course. We, of course, need to develop our ownership in the continent, including by considering the existing capacities in Africa, by training people in Africa with the support of our partners. We considered in this regard the selection of regional collaborating centers in nuclear safeguards. We selected recently 2 centers in this field, and the terms of reference of these centers will be to support technically AFCONE, the Commission or the Secretariat of the Commission, in different fields, in expertise, inspections, laboratories, analysis, training at different levels, organizing fellowships, etc. This is the call to the regional collaborating centers. It's in our website with all what we are expecting from these regional collaborating centers. Why a master in nuclear safeguards? This is, in fact, a question even for maybe many European countries. And I congratulate you again for this initiative this year to launch this master formally. In fact, the need in Africa are related in particular to the setup of these national systems in nuclear safeguards. It's important to each African countries to not only sign an agreement with the IAEA, but be committed through the setup of this national system and to train national experts in this field or staff, national staff dedicated to implement and to implement the national systems programs with the IAEA. Training the trainers for the national atomic energy commissions or the universities and the appropriate institutes in universities related or interested in developing nuclear science and technology and nuclear security and safeguards. Research and development, which is really very important for us as AFCONE, and it's part of our, I hope that cooperation program with GRC and other European institutions in order really to develop the appropriate capacities in the continent in nuclear safeguards. Opportunities in Africa, Professor Keltoum just highlighted the efforts made by some countries in Africa in the field of nuclear security. There is several countries which are already educating in nuclear safeguards and in preparing masters in nuclear security. I believe that these universities are the most maybe appropriate institutions in Africa to start considering maybe in the future a master in nuclear safeguards in order to develop the synergy between the nuclear safety, security, and safeguards. Of course, the support by the national centers, nuclear centers, which have or which operate the nuclear infrastructure, research reactors or labs or nuclear labs or particle accelerators or others will be invited to collaborate with these universities in order to really have a full package and respectively to the qualification in nuclear safeguards. Of course, we from AFCONE will support the regional collaborating centers in nuclear safeguards and put them, integrate them in the loop in order to support all the African countries in different fields, as I mentioned before. The way forward, we are, you reminded just a few minutes before, and the interest of the African countries to nuclear power development and the interest to small and medium reactors, which is true, even if we are still waiting the development of the pilot units and the demonstration of the safety, nuclear safety and security of these pilots in order to go ahead. But this is true, and we are considering these new developments in Africa, in nuclear research centers and in nuclear power plant in order to evaluate the needs in the field and to consider the concrete program in education in nuclear safeguards. Of course, the systematic approach for training methodology developed by the EA is one of the most appropriate in considering this. Thank you very much for your attention and for the opportunity, and congratulations again.
Thank you, Messaoud. You gave us a clear picture of what's going on. What is the perspective of the development of the nuclear issues in Africa, and it is really a brilliant future, a challenging but a very promising future. So we are more than happy to collaborate with you, with the organization, and with the African countries, giving our contribution on the topic of nuclear safeguards. Thank you very much.
May I
please.
A last comment, please? I would like just to thank Mr. Pascal Daures for the opportunity and for the information he just mentioned related to the support from the European Union Commission to Africa in this field and in other fields. But we will keep in touch very soon in order to organize a meeting, maybe with Mr. Willem and others, in order to discuss more deeply this matter. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much. Now let me ask to Mr. Esteban Picado Sandí, that is president of the Latin American Network for Education in Nuclear Technology, to take the floor. Thank you, Esteban.
Hello. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Well?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Good morning, afternoon, and night for everyone. I'm very happy and honored to be able to participate in this important activity. Always it's special to share the moment when a joint work shows to the world an outstanding and pertinent outcome. I want to thank to ENEN for persisting in our wish to connect the collective efforts that we make from educational regional networks. The Latin American Network for Education in Nuclear Technology, LANENT, was established in 2010 to contribute to preserving, promoting, and sharing nuclear knowledge, as well as fostering nuclear knowledge transferred in the Latin.
Luigi, tutto ok?
Sì, tutto ok. Qualcuno mi sa che ha chiuso la riunione.
Ah sì?
Mm-hmm.
Interessante.
I was also disconnected. I had to reconnect, so there must have been something that went wrong.
Yes. It was a complete crash. Probably someone.
Me too, the same. I had to reconnect. I thought it was my problem.
But it looks like everybody reconnects rapidly. So
Yes.
Okay.
We just need Esteban back for the presentation.
Indeed.
Luigi said that probably someone inadvertently clicked on the shutdown. The scram button. Someone pushed the scram button.
Exactly.
In Cisco, maybe.
So
now I see Stephan, Jacques, Miss Miss Xiaojing, but I cannot see.
No, Esteban is not yet there.
Esteban.
And important for Luigi is also to know whether the web streaming continues then, or whether that has to be restarted also.
Okay, let's see if we can reconnect with Esteban. Otherwise, I would like to ask.
I just sent him a message.
Miss Guo to take the floor if.
Perhaps it's better to continue, and when he's coming back, we can resume his speech.
Yes, okay. So let me give the floor to Miss Xiaojing Guo, is a representative of the Asian nuclear education network for education nuclear technology. Thank you, Ms. Xiaojing, for joining us, and please.
Thank you, Mr. Marco, for the introduction of me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Xiaojing Guo from Tsinghua University, Beijing, China. First, I want to thank Mr. Pavel for inviting me to this great meeting. It is my honor to participate in this virtual event on behalf of ANENT. ANENT is short for Asia Network for Education in Nuclear Technology. In fact, ANENT just signed a collaboration agreement with ENEN and other nuclear educational networks, including LANENT, StarNet, UNINI, and so on, under the coordination of IAEA. ANENT was established in 2004 as a regional partnership to cooperate in capacity building in Asia and the Pacific region. We have 21 member countries at present, and ANENT is running a learning management system under the help of IAEA. And our member countries can share nuclear education materials on the platform. We also performed some fellowship programs on the platform. Actually, nuclear safeguard is a very, very important part of our education. There is a special section for nuclear safeguards in our platform, and our member countries can share materials with one another on the platform. And I want to congratulate you on the master course. As all the previous experts mentioned, nuclear safeguard is a very, very important part in the whole nuclear world. The nuclear safeguard system is a key element of the international region of the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. Effective inspections and measures within the framework of safeguards can prevent the abuse of nuclear technology, nuclear installations, and nuclear material must be protected from attacks and from theft, respectively. The measures and strategies currently employed are effective and represent a very high level. But more people are needed to be involved and devote themselves in this area to become experts in nuclear safeguards area to keep the whole world safe. So I think this course is of great significance. So ANENT would like to seek the possibility of cooperation with this course. For example, we can cooperate to put some of your courses on ANENT platform so that people from all our 21 member countries, maybe they can benefit from your knowledge in nuclear safeguards area. We can also talk deeply, and to see how we can run this cooperation. And I also have an idea. Maybe I can share this master course information with among our 21 member countries and see if there is any applicants from countries in Asia area. But I don't know how many applicants you can give us. I would also like to talk about the situation in China. At present, there are about 50 nuclear power plants running in mainland China. And some are still under construction. And China has always been a peace-loving country and was part of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. In fact, China has very strict nuclear safeguard policy worldwide. Here in China, our government pays much attention on nuclear safeguards and safety. In the year 2019, China publishes a white paper book named Nuclear Safety in China in about 6 languages. This white paper book was released to introduce China's approach to nuclear safety, safeguards, and elaborate on its basic principles and policies, share the concepts and practices of regulation, and clarify China's determination to promote global nuclear safety governance and the actions it has taken to achieve this. As a researcher, I work in Institute of Nuclear Energy and New Technology, which is short for INET, I-N-E-T. It is an institute in Tsinghua University, located in Beijing. We enroll about 150 graduate students every year in various nuclear majors and fields, like nuclear application, nuclear energy, also nuclear security, and all the graduate students are pursuing their master or doctor degrees. So as a researcher in this field, I hope that my institute maybe can develop a further cooperation with ENEN too. So I have a small question. Can the students apply for the master course, or is the course designed for people who are already working in nuclear area? Because if the students can apply for it, maybe they can acquire 2 degrees or 2 diplomas in their study. Usually, in Tsinghua University, the master have to study for about 3 years to get a master's degree. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Guo. Thank you for the kind words and also for the opportunity to start thinking a very fruitful collaboration with your university, with the university that belongs to ANENT. For sure, you can share the information, you can spread the idea of this master within the countries, that within the organization that are involved in your network. Just to answer briefly to your question, we conceived the master mainly for the professionals, but obviously the young student, the young graduated students are not is not forbidden, so that they can apply. And even if we have only 20 places for the first edition, we will have immediately after a second edition, and so there will be really the chance, the possibility to attend. So for sure, we are very interested in exploring potential collaboration with the Asian network, and for sure, when you will discuss with Gabriel, you will find good opportunities for a further collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So now let us move back to Esteban. Esteban, are you there?
Yes, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. Hello again. Good morning, afternoon, and night for everyone. Excuse me, because my son went online for his virtual classes, and it seems that something affected my connection. Well, I'm very happy and honored to be able to participate in this important activity. Always is special to share the moment when a joint work shows to the world an outstanding and pertinent outcome. I want to thanks to ENEN for persisting in our wish to connect the collective efforts that we make from Educational Regional Network. The Latin American Network for Education in Nuclear Technology, LANENT, was established in 2010 to contribute to preserving, promoting, and sharing nuclear knowledge, as well as fostering nuclear knowledge transfer in the Latin American region. And today, LANENT has more than 70 member institutions, which belong to 18 non-nuclear weapon states. In fact, Latin America, since the signature of Tlatelolco Treaty, become a nuclear weapon-free zone. This facilitates the development of the philosophy of peaceful uses of atomic energy, but obviously this magically does not solve all the problems. Because that, LANENT seeks to increase technical and scientific cooperation among its members insofar as to promote benefits of nuclear technology and foster the progress and development of nuclear technology in areas such as education, health, industry, government, environment, and of course, security. Education and knowledge management are the base, the heart of sustainability. On one hand, following the model of concentric spheres promoted by the Integrated Nuclear Security Support Plan, ENSP of IAEA, the sustainability is in the outer sphere and is directly related with a culture of safety and security. And this culture, in turn, is constructed over education and NKM fundamentals. This is one of the main reasons why this master degree is very important. Contribute to sustainability of a culture of safety and security. On the other hand, after visit the website of the Master of Science in Safeguard and Non-Proliferation, I discovered a very interesting concept, safeguard community. I like it, not only because all must pursue something like that, a peace and safe community, but because in some sense harmonize with what LANENT is seeking in Latin America. And I borrow a phrase from the website, said, to train and develop the competencies of employees in order to enhance the efficiency of their action in the field of nuclear safeguards and support the continuous development of a professional, competent, and motivated workforce. And this is other reason, among others, why this blended learning program is relevant. Bring a solution for a lack or aging problem in the workforce in nuclear issues. So keeping this philosophy and goals, I only, in the name of LANENT, wish you all the best and extend our hand for explore any cooperation that you think we can drive together. Thank you again and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Esteban. And for sure, we are very glad and we are eager to collaborate with you on this topic and in general on the topic related to nuclear science and technology. And to complete the picture, unfortunately, Mr.Andrey Timoshchenko from StarNet, the Regional Network for Education and Training in Nuclear Technology, was not able to attend, but he sent us his speech. So let me read for you some passages of his speech. He wrote, while the staff and facilities of some universities of the StarNet Association are capable to hold a safeguard traineeship program for countries not highly experienced in nuclear education, especially for embarking countries and so-called intermediate countries like Belarus, and he's from Belarus, the general nuclear education and training is desirable for refreshing and specifying knowledge and skills to the safeguard purposes. So he hoped that the endeavor of the specializing master on nuclear safeguards will involve ENEN and StarNet in closer cooperation and will encourage the development of nuclear education in Europe and the whole world. And this is a wish that together with Gabriel, we gladly accept, and with all the sister organization that were involved today, the sister organization for ENEN, we are more than available to start a collaboration, taking the opportunity from the master on nuclear safeguards. Now we have now 15 minutes. We were a little bit late, but it was really a pleasure for us to host this incredible panel today and sharing information, views, expectation on this important topic. Let me leave the floor to Gabriel, to Willem, probably to share a couple of questions with some of our panelists.
Okay, Marco, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Thanks, first of all, for all the interventions. This was very encouraging and very inspiring also. We heard a lot about the relevance of multidisciplinarity, about the challenges for nuclear newcomer states, or also for trying to respect better gender balance, for instance. We heard a little bit about future funding opportunities even. So lots of very good suggestions to take on board at this stage in our program, and especially also our colleagues from the other educational networks that were all excited to find students. So we encourage them to reach out to their community, let them know about the program, and motivate your contacts to consider submitting applicants that we will be very happy to evaluate in the future. And indeed, we had foreseen a little bit of a longer panel discussion, but that's okay, because as I said, the information was very, very valuable. So let me basically just kick off a short discussion, knowing that we have for the panel two additional or two substitute intervenants, because we have the pleasure to have Mr. Jacques both on board, because Max Aparo from the IAEA had to leave. So Jacques is director in the Information Management in Nuclear Safeguards Department. And we also have Isis Leslie from the World Nuclear Association, because Dr. Sama had to leave early as well. So you're very welcome to also share your views and opinion on the first question, that possibly if Luigi is there, he can project it. Otherwise, I will read it from the screen here. So basically, we wanted to understand, in your opinion, in fact, with this information you got now from the Nuclear Safeguards Master Program, and you already answered largely which gap it fills in education, but what kind of background of students you would encourage to participate? So the multidisciplinarity was stressed a lot. Now, do you feel we have to aim for students not only with a technical background, but also possibly students with political sciences or legal background, or even diplomats, whatever? And from what field of work would you like to see them coming for such a master program? Would it be from industry, from the authorities, from regulatory bodies, or from the safeguards inspectorates, but possibly also from NGOs or from academia? And directly related to this last point, because that's going to be a question the students will ask, is what are the different jobs out there where this particular education is relevant? So how do you see that? What's the job market where you deem this multidisciplinary knowledge that they will cover in this master program is going to be valuable for the participants? So that's the question we want to throw out there to you to start with. And why not, if I can give the floor first, possibly to the two colleagues that were stepping in for their the other colleagues that presented. So perhaps I start with Jacques and then give the floor to Isis, and other people can then step in as they like to comment on that question. Please, Jacques, if you like, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Willem. First of all, on behalf of Max, apologies that he had to disappear without saying goodbye to everybody, but it was certainly a pleasure for him to participate to the panel, and it's a pleasure for me too. Willem, that's a great question, and out of my experience of 27 years in the agency now, I believe that there should be outreach into multiple directions with regard to the existence and the benefit that this master can provide. Max insisted a lot on the operators aspect, on the SSACs aspect, on the building the inspectorate, for instance, given the challenges that we have for recruitment, including dealing with the gender balance that our Director General expects. But I think that as highlighted by the industry rep at the beginning, I think that many operators of nuclear-related industry would benefit from sending some of their staff because, again, as part of the obligations that states have to fulfill once they have a safeguards agreement, it's very important that all contributors have the proper understanding. You mentioned diplomats, and I would completely agree. As I said, in my 27 years of the agency, how many hours have I spent trying to teach the basics of, nuclear fuel cycle, of safeguards, of the constraints that exist. So I am sure that beyond, including in diplomat, people who are staffers to decision makers and so on could definitely benefit from this master to understand the complexity, as many have highlighted. I would even say journalists could be interested in order to better apprehend how everything interacts. When I see some description of what the additional protocol is, for instance, I believe that the journalist community can join and benefit a lot. So I would really, really recommend that the outreach, the promotion of the master goes well beyond the first circle of our traditional counterparts, but to all those guys who have to deal sometimes on a partial basis, part-time, but with issues that may make the headlines, issues that may require funding. One of the challenges of our society is that very often a deep reflection is made when there is a catastrophe. Unfortunately or fortunately, in the world of safeguards, we've not had a serious catastrophe since the discovery of Iraq's program 30 years ago. Promoting the good practice, promoting simply the understanding through these masters is, for me, something that is an absolute necessity, hence my strong motivation to contribute.
Okay, thank you, Jacques. Very clear. We'll bear in mind how we can best reach out to the journalist population as well. Any suggestions from people around the table are obviously welcome in that respect. I'd like to ask Isis also whether she would have some from the more industry side, some suggestions on that question, also in terms of the jobs that you see out there for people attending this course.
Hi, I would like to also offer my congratulations. I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing. And like the previous speaker, I want to apologize that Sama was unable to stay for the whole event. I know she thinks that it's a really important topic, which it certainly is. Just to echo the previous speaker, I certainly agree that this is something that industry really should be involved in. There should be a greater knowledge of safeguards throughout it, but it's not just on the operator side. There's also vendors to consider. And if we are hoping that safeguards will be built in at the design stage of things, then obviously we should make sure that those people who are designing power plants definitely know what needs to happen and how the practical implementation of safeguards can be affected by the way that a power plant is designed. So certainly I think it would be great to reach out to them as well and see if there's anyone appropriate to get involved. On the job side of things, it's a little bit more difficult. There is obviously a lot of jobs out there in this realm, and I think that industry certainly would be really interested in having staff members to work collaboratively with other departments such as safety and security and make sure that safeguards, safety and security are all considered in a holistic sense. I know a lot of the speakers have mentioned how important it is that they are all considered together. A lot of the technologies, for example, are very complementary between safety and safeguards, and security. And so obviously having someone who is a safeguard specialist would be really beneficial within an industry sort of environment.
Thank you, Isis. Fully agree with that as well. So vendors, that's why we had this in this intervention on potential nuclear newcomer states and references to innovative technologies like small modular reactors and others. That's obviously an area where we can try to promote that not only design is built on safety and security considerations, but that safeguards is taken on board. So that means that they have or they need qualified people in that area as well. I couldn't agree more. Do any of the other intervenants from before like to share their opinion on this question of the type of disciplines that we try to recruit students from and the type of jobs that we hope they would find a working opportunity in later on? So just take the floor if you are online, switch on your mic and you're happy to intervene. I saw, for instance, when Stephan Lechner made this very strong plea saying that this was one of the most future-oriented secure job guarantees for students. So if you like to comment on that further or somebody else likes to, please feel free to do so.
Hi, Willem.
Yes, Messaoud.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to just to share my point of view on this issue of for which audience, in fact, this masters could be delivered. I share the Mr. Jack point of view, but I believe that in presenting the folder of this master to the university and to the Italian high education ministry, the folder included to whom it's designed, in fact, according to the systematic approach training. Otherwise, the master could have different options for technical people, professional in safeguards, industry professionals or vendors or diplomats. But I don't believe that this master from a nuclear engineering institute could be delivered for diplomat. This is my own point of view, and may I request maybe Professor Ricotti to have a response or reply on this. It's very interesting.
Thanks, Messaoud. I'm happy. I'll give the floor to Marco because that's a point we discussed a lot in the beginning and with the scientific committee as well. And there have been some solutions basically that have been invented or put in place to try and deal with this challenge. But Marco, please, you can detail that a little bit further.
Yes, one issue that we consider when designing the master is to leave at least 3 ECTS, 3 credits at the entrance, at the beginning, in order to equalize more or less try to equalize some information, some education. So we will have 1 credit devoted to nuclear technology or nuclear basic issues like radiation and measurements. 1 credit about legal issues, and 1 credit about political science. So a comprehensive overview of the topic. We know that this could be not enough. It's not the perfect configuration, but it is a way to try to answer to your question, to address your topic. There could be also the chance to update a little bit, to tune the education according to the classroom, So according to the background of the learners, because we will have both already recorded lectures, videos, but we will have also the possibility to have a live interaction with the webinars, with the project works, with the experience on field, with the labs, with the learners. So we would like to take into account the background of each learner in order as much as possible to tune their experience for the most beneficial education. We will have also a second edition in order to fine-tuning the effort, but this is the approach that we discussed to follow when designing the course.
Thank you, Marco. And to further possibly complement for Messaoud's concern, which I share, it's a very valid remark, Messaoud. The big advantage of this master also is that we will have, for the first time ever, the development of these integrated modules of the safeguards education, very much like it was the case in INSEN, which was built up out of different ingredients. So we hope that one or the other module can then be integrated in other university programs, which are already teaching on the more legal or the political science side or whatever, without having to necessarily repeat the entire master, but having had the chance to develop it, to discuss it with experts, to validate it into a full set, an integrated master program will allow us to fine tune it. And then the idea would be that other universities can possibly pick up individual modules and accommodate it for the dedicated education they would like to make. Now, in view of the time, we won't have time to discuss many questions, so I'm not going to ask other questions, but is there anybody else that likes to come in as a concluding remark on this multidisciplinarity or the job market for this type of master program? Please feel free to do so before then passing the floor back to Marco for concluding remarks. So either in research from the side of Maria possibly, or in other areas, I mean, from the other networks that have been speaking about education. Please, Maria.
Thank you very much, Willem. Thank you very much to all the colleagues for this exciting opening of these masters. I would say that it's very important nowadays that we keep this community of knowledge in the safeguards and in nuclear in general. And I see a very much highlighting part of all those that are the talented youngs that come with these masters. They will be instructed about safeguards, that is very important, but I think they will be exposed to the entire world of the nuclear and all the entire perspective of the nuclear, because the safeguards is something that will expose people also to safeguards of medical applications, safeguards, so that they will have a knowledge, a broad knowledge and wide knowledge, and this will help for sure to have a kind of sustainable population of talented professionals around the world that will allow us to maintain our safety standards, our security standards, and our knowledge towards in the next decade. So it's very important this. As for research, I think that we should look at the modernization of all the activities of the things. We should take on board the digitalization, that is very important, the use of artificial intelligence, of machine learning, and so on and so forth. So we should really look at the normal business and how the normal business should be embedded in the nuclear business, and how the nuclear business actually should be supported the normal business, because this is also a kind of osmosis that for sure we can do, and there could be a benefit also for those that are not nuclear engineering sciences. So I saw this really a very good endeavor that you have in the end now, and I am at your disposal also if you need something more from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria. And then is there somebody else who likes to take the floor? Let me reassure also. Yeah, please go ahead.
So I would like to share an opportunity for female applicants. The IAEA last year launched the Marie Curie Fellowship Program for female students that they want to pursue master's program in nuclear field, including nuclear safety, security, and safeguards. And the application will be open, I think, in June or July. So please apply to this fellowship program Each year, we have 100 applicants that benefit from this fellowship program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for bringing this up as well. And I was going to say afterwards that we would certainly also like to pick up on your suggestion when you mentioned there was women in nuclear security that have been built. If we get female applications for the course, we'll be happy to see whether they are thrilled to go into Women of Nuclear Safeguards. But then we'll come back to the female participants to this panel to see whether you want to champion this. So we have several female participants this afternoon. So we might come back to you for your help in championing and setting up such a branch, if you want, of the women in nuclear that I know is very active, and also in ESARD and the INMM have a strong footprint. So that would be an idea we can pursue as well. Thank you for bringing that up.
Sure, my pleasure, William.
And with that, in view of the time also, because you all have other commitments possibly, we will not stretch further the discussion session, but this was only the first opportunity. As was said in the beginning of the event, on the 7th of June, we have a session which is focusing on the practicalities for the students that want to enroll. So the people who have today been listening to the streaming, for instance, if they want to get information on the practicalities, on how these things will be effectively organized and so on, what is going to be the expected workload, they will get all these questions answered in a first opportunity on the 7th of June, or they can just drop an email to the contact data that are on the website. And with that, I thank a lot from my side also all the speakers, and I'd like to give the floor back to Marco for the concluding words.
Thank you, Willem. I want just to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for the panelists, for the persons that attended this meeting. Thank you very much. We are very glad you find the time to join us. And we look for a fruitful collaboration with you, with your organization, for the benefit of the master, for the benefit of the education in the nuclear safeguards area. So thank you once more, and see you soon. The last word is for the potential students, the potential learners that participated today, or that will watch this video on the website. Please let us get in contact, as Willem said, in the meeting of the next June 7, or just sending an email to the coordinates that you see here on the slides. Once more, thank you very much, and have a good evening, have a good day, have a good morning. Thank you once more.
Marco,
please, Gabriel.
I would like to quote you by recalling everybody one sentence that when you mentioned that for this master we are cooperating with more than 40 people, 40 specialists that are coming from all over the organizations present here. So my deep and heart, my thanks coming from all my heart to all these organizations, all these experts, all these people that are contributing to the master program. And also, if you would like to have a short group picture, what do you think? Can we have a short group picture?
Sure.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask okay, great.
Okay, to the grid, yes.
I don't know how to do it.
I will do it. So please switch on your video. Thank you so much for your collaboration. Just wait a moment. Done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Enjoy the afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.